Hello again. Today we have Frieren from Frieren's Beyond Journey's End. Our cute little Frieren, who does not love her? And my god, that anime. Frieren was probably, no, not probably, it was most certainly my favorite anime of the year of 2023. My god, if you haven't seen it, put it on your to-do list. It is one of the best animes that I have personally ever seen. Anyways, we are here with her as a figure. And some birds in the background, of course. We cannot always deny our audience. Sometimes we have birds in our videos. That's okay. Anyways, we have our system of grading this figure. Sculpture, size, paint, flaws, and price. Sculpture being the overall shape, form, and presence of the figure. Size, self-explanatory, how big or small the figure is. In my opinion, the bigger is better. Paint is also pretty obvious. If there are any flaws or blotches or whatever with the paint, we will decide that. Flaws is just the overall, with bootleg figures, you can expect flaws, and we will see if this figure has any or not. And of course, last but not least, we have the price, the most important aspect of our shopping experience with figures online. Okay. Oh, Frieren, you are just lovely. Just watching you over there sit there patiently. Such a lovely, lovely gal. Sculpture. So, as you can see, she is actually quite good looking with the pose. It's not the craziest thing I've ever seen, but it's definitely far, far, far from the worst I've ever seen. She has a cute little, just a cute little pose, you know? Legs up, hands out. She's welcoming us with open arms. Sculpture we will give, I'm thinking between two numbers here. I mean, oof, you know, I'm gonna give it to her. We're gonna give her a 4. 4 out of 5. We have to be very lenient with bootleg figures because they're far from perfect. So I was thinking of giving it a 3, but it's like, a 3 is mid of the pack. I'm like, I'm on the fence about it, but I like this pose. And I think it is a good pose. It's not a perfect pose, so let's give it a 4. Moving on. Size. This is a model replica 1/7 scale of an existing figure, and she is at 23 centimeters tall, or about 9 inches, which I believe is a excellent standard for these type of figures. So with that said, that is a very obvious 5. Perfect size for its exactly for its class, which is in the 1/7 scale class. Nothing to complain about there. Paint. Okay. Now we see into the details here. And my god, I must say, the paint job on this is quite good. I like it. The line work on the clothing is very good. The black belt and black stripes on the shirt. All the colors are well within the lines. The boots aren't too bad. There's a little bit of overspray onto the legs here. I don't know if you could see that. Might be quite difficult. There's a little bit of brown down there. So, not obvious unless you really look for it. You'll never notice it at a distance. I love the line work. We have the nice glistening red paint on the staff. That looks pretty good. The hair is... you know, is her hair like a purplish white? Holy moly, I actually can't remember. I thought it was white. You know what? I'm kind of curious. Let's look this up. Yeah, I mean, that looks white to me. It's kind of like a whitish grayscale. Huh. Interesting. So the hair color in this figure is not exactly one-to-one with the representation of her. So I think with that, man, that kind of sucks because everything else about it is quite lovely. I'm thinking of two numbers here. No. It can't be done. I thought about giving it a 3, but we decided to give it a 4. Just because the line work on the clothing here is fantastic. Absolutely immaculate. No complaints there. The hair color being slightly off isn't a big deal. Obviously prevents it from being a 5 out of 5. Everything else is pretty dang good. Alright, flaws. Any very powerful flaws here? I guess the hair color, right? I mean, that's definitely a flaw. 100%. Oh, and by the way, look at this base. Got a nice detailed base here. Love it how these cheap bootleg figures find a way to entice us with beautiful bases, but those very expensive figures have a very boring and bland bases. Stop overspending for figures, people. Bootleg figures are cheap, and they get the job done without breaking your bank. So other than the hair color, yeah, I mean, not really any flaws. Like no damage, no scratching, no scuff marks. It's all looking pretty good. So obviously a 5 out of 5 would be perfect. Not perfect. A big number 4. Nice. Price. Oh yes, it's always the most important aspect when we are shopping for our figures online. What is the price? Oh, wow, look at that. That's a steep one. So, it's $13.23, but it's another $13 in shipping. Ooh, wow, that's rough. That brings us up to a grand total of $27.68. That's including shipping and tax. That is a lot of money for a piece of plastic on your shelf. But in this case, it is very, very... Is it worth it? I think it's well placed if it is appropriate for you. If you want a Frieren figure that's decently looking and at a fair price, this is not too bad. But as far as bootleg figures go, $28, almost $29 is quite steep. But it's not too steep. So, yep. I'm going to give that a 3 out of 5. I think that is appropriate. Not the most expensive thing in the world, but also there are much cheaper options. Okay. Let's add these numbers together to get our score average. 4 plus 5 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3 equals 20 divided by the number of categories, which is 5. And we get a very clean number of... Look at that. Even with a 3, we get a clean number 4. A 4 out of 5. That seems about right. Not a perfect figure, so it doesn't deserve a 5 out of 5. but definitely a well-rounded figure with a steeper price. So a 4 out of 5 is justifiable. I'm surprised that the 3 didn't push it down a little bit further, but I digress. Frieren, everybody. One of the best elf girls in anime, in my opinion. One of the best animes I've ever seen, in my opinion. If you haven't seen it and you like a fantasy genre, by all means, indulge on this masterpiece of a storytelling series. God, I can't wait for season 2. Anyways, that's all we have for today. I'm gonna get some nice, beautiful close-up shots of Frieren here. Enjoy.